Hi everyone, so I have my current skincare routine for you today, and it is the winter in Minnesota, so it is very, very dry. We're going through an especially cold snap, which means the air is super, super, super dry. So my skin is, the majority of the year, the T-zone is quite oily, and the rest of my face is dry to normal. More on the dry side. In the winter, my T-zone gets more dry, a lot less oily, and certain patches that are normally kind of oily start getting flaky because I haven't added in enough moisture to my routine. But I'm also balancing that with being acne prone. So if I use too much moisture, then I will start breaking out, and yeah, so in general, my acne is quite well controlled, but if I do use too much moisture or I'm not using my proper acne preventing stuff, it will flare up. And I am also 36 years old, and I would say that I have some small wrinkles and fine lines and a bit of a texture issue and some visible pores and whatever, just like everybody else in the world. So I'm just gonna get going. In the morning, I'm exceedingly lazy, so again, I've gone back to not using any sort of face wash. So the first thing I do is just use the Pixi Glow Tonic on a cotton pad, and I do that everywhere except around my eyes, basically. And this is the 5% glycolic acid. And that just, I feel like, kind of takes off the heavier nighttime skincare that's left, does a little bit of exfoliation. And then I go in, if I do have a little bit of makeup around my eyes, I'll use the Garnier Micellar Water in the pink cap, the just regular one, and remove the eye makeup. And then the only other thing I do for skincare in the morning is apply my Paula's Choice Skin Recovery Daily Moisturizing Lotion, SPF 30. So this does say normal to dry to very dry. And I'm almost through with this, and I have repurchased. This is way too heavy for me during most of the year, but I like it a lot when my skin is drier. And I feel like it just sinks in well, makeup sits on top of it fine, and it's just a pleasure to use. And this one is a mineral-based SPF, so it does not have chemical sunscreens in it, and I feel like generally is just really easy on the skin. So that's it for the morning. In the evening is when I do the bulk of my skincare stuff. So the first thing I do after I wash my face, where's my face wash? Here it is. So in the shower, I wash my face with Paula's Choice Redness Relief Cleanser, and this says calm, normal to dry. So I finished my Moisture Boost Skin Cleanser, I think, the Moisture Boost one. And I didn't see it on the site, so I got this one. This one's a lot smaller and more expensive. I do believe they still carry that Moisture Boost one, so I'll probably buy that one when this is done. I don't feel like there's been any sort of change in the redness in my face, or any sort of improvement on using this instead of the Moisture Boost. I feel like they both leave my skin not feeling dry after I'm done washing, which is something that I've always had some issues with. So I do like this, but I don't think it's worth the extra price. And then first thing I apply after is the Paula's Choice 2% BHA Gel. I did mention this in my 2016 beauty favorites, which I will link below. This I use primarily just for acne, keeping my acne kind of at bay. If I don't use this, I do notice an increase in breakouts. And the gel is going to last a lot longer than the liquid, so that's why I've always been a really big fan of the gel. This bottle will last me about a year, which is awesome. After that, I had a deluxe sample of this, and I just was waiting to not be nursing or pregnant to use it. Went through it and actually noticed a change in my skin, which is so unusual. It's the Paula's Choice Clinical 1% Retinol treatment. So I used the deluxe sample I had for probably about 3 weeks, and my skin actually felt softer and slightly smoother, and it felt like makeup was applying a little bit nicer around my cheeks, which is where things tend to get very dry and crusty looking. And I thought it was interesting because I actually was using this and not exfoliants because I had the retinol with me in that I just took like all travel size and packets and whatnot for this trip to Connecticut that we took. So it was 9 days, no chemical exfoliants. And I was using this and my skin seemed to be in a better shape. So I went ahead and bought the full-size version. So I started using this now. And yeah, like I said, it just seemed to make my face a little bit softer, a little bit smoother. Makeup was sitting on it better. I'll take it. After that, I let it sit for a while, like brush my teeth or something. And then I do some sort of, this is where things kind of mix and match, and it depends on what I feel like and what I grab for and whatever. Olay Regenerist Micro-Sculpting Serum. In the past I've got the Regenerating Serum, both fragrance-free, very important. I like this fine, but I don't know that it's really anything notable. And lately, because of all the dryness, I've just been mixing in. Sometimes I get kind of irritated with having to put on like 20 different layers. So I've just been mixing in this Hyaluronic Acid 2% plus B5 from The Ordinary. So I mix these together and put it everywhere on my face and my neck. I have this kind of loose skin situation on my neck, and that's primarily, I was hoping that this would help. I don't know. It may be slightly better. I don't know. So I do take everything at least down to here on my neck, if not further. So yeah, and this I do use around my eyes as well. So after that, then I'm just looking for additional moisture since it is so dry. So I'm varying between a couple different things right now. I might use, where is it? Well, I'll mention one other thing that I do use every once in a while. I haven't really gotten into a standard routine with this yet. This is a deluxe sample size of the Paula's Choice Resist Vitamin C Spot Treatment. It's 25% vitamin C. So I've been using that along here. I have this kind of patch of like yellowy discoloration underneath my freckles. I also have a lot of pretty strong freckles there. So I'm using that also to maybe help with the texture a little bit, help possibly fade some of that extra pigmentation. I don't know. This seems to be kind of heavy duty stuff though. So one time I used it and it must have gotten a little bit too close to my eyes, and I definitely was feeling some discomfort in my eyeballs. So I'm kind of trying to watch out for that. So that would be like the last thing I apply before just the generic moisture. I'm not looking for really active ingredients in this layer. Just some extra moisture because my skin has been flaking and dry and crusty, and makeup does not look good on that kind of face. I had gotten a set with the Murad primer, that, what is it even called? Invisibler primer. And so I've been using this. It came in the set. I've been using it as my kind of generic moisture step some days, and it's the Murad Hydrodynamic Ultimate Moisture. So I focus that mainly on my cheeks and around my eyes, which is what is the most dry, and also like under here and on the sides of my mouth, so in spots around my mouth, and then just kind of lightly spreads what's left into my T-zone. During non-winter parts of the year, I never put that extra moisture in my T-zone because it's too oily, it will make my breakout, whatever, but it has just been so dry that even something like this I will spread to the rest of my face. For something that absorbs faster, and if it weren't like the absolute dead of winter, a lot of times I really enjoy using an oil, and I've been using the Paula's Choice Resist Moisture Renewal Oil Booster. In the past I've mixed this in with other things, but I really enjoy just applying it. I like the sensation of an oil where it just sucks in really quickly and it doesn't leave your face as tacky as something like a regular moisturizer will, so I do love this for adding extra moisture, and especially some places like right around here where that area can get clogged really quickly, so then it can be like, because that spot on my face tends to flake quite a bit, so it might be kind of flaky and breaking out, which is just ugly. So I find this actually absorbs into that area without causing any sort of clogged pores pretty well, so there's that. And my last option for extra moisture is just the giant tub of CeraVe moisturizing cream. I had a deluxe sample of this, really liked it as my extra moisture step, and so I got the enormous tub. I know that the form factor of a tub, active ingredients are not going to last very long with all that time of it being exposed to the air and whatnot, but I'm just really liking this for its moisturizing abilities, not for the ceramides and whatnot, because those are not going to last long with this giant tub. So I really do enjoy how this sinks into the skin. It doesn't leave a real goopy layer. It's a lovely moisturizer, and that's something I use in the more humid parts of the year as my extra step on just my cheeks and around my eyes and those little few spots. So that's it for my morning and evening skincare routine currently in the super dry winter here in Minnesota. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I always love hearing from you. Oh, one thing I did not mention, I forgot to grab. If I have an active breakout, I use the Paula's Choice 2.5% benzoyl peroxide treatment, and that really helps cut down on the healing time for those blemishes. So I do love that, and I get the small kind of travel or deluxe or whatever size because I cannot go through one of those giant tubes in a reasonable amount of time, since I'm just using it on breakouts as opposed to as a preventative measure. So there. That actually is it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments on what you are currently loving as far as skincare routines go. If you have any products that really stand out to you, I would love to hear from you. I hope you are having a great day. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you soon. Current, whatever, skincare routine, and this is... I feel like I preemptively smiled. I was already doing my little goodbye smile while I was still talking. It was a little awkward.